Most of your papers never covered her story when it happened. To the extent that you covered it at all, it was because President Trump forced you to cover it.
The American press is trying to see how it hurts cartel members' feelings. In other words, everyone who crosses that border is smuggled by a cartel or a cartel associate, and they're responsible.
Chief Justice Roberts just got caught. Stephen Miller's bombshell lawsuit is exposing the secret rules that these damn judges are using to sabotage Trump. I'm a Navy vet. I've never seen this level of corruption. The media is corrupt. They are trying to hide this, and you know exactly why. We're going to break it all down. America First Legal dropped this lawsuit that's got the entire DC establishment losing their minds. Today, Miller's team basically called out Roberts and his whole damn judicial conference for playing games with Trump's presidential authority. It's like when we were stationed in Norfolk, Virginia, and that one officer thought he would rewrite all of the regulations whenever he felt like it. Remember, that's the same energy. These judges are just straight up refusing to respond to FOIA requests. You know how much paperwork we had to fill out? I understand working in the government. I've been there. But this has gone way beyond normal. Somehow, these guys, these lawyers, these judges think they're above transparency laws. This is classic Washington, D.C. garbage. This article, I want you to check it out by the Gateway Pundit. I'll put a link down below. I swear it's exactly what we used to talk about. These people create their own damn rules to block whatever policies they don't like. The Constitution doesn't work that way, but they don't care. And of course, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, they're all spinning this like Trump's attacking judicial independence or whatever. This is an example of what kind of bulldog, or General Mike Flynn called him a chainsaw, that Stephen Miller is.
Most of your papers never covered her story when it happened. To the extent that you covered it at all, it was because President Trump forced you to cover it by highlighting it repeatedly over and over again. He had to shame you into covering it. And each and every one of you that sides over and over again with these MS-13 terrorists, to the extent that you have the financial means to do so, you all choose to live in condos or homes or houses as far away from these kinds of gangbangers as you possibly can. If I offered any one of you a rent-free home with no taxes to pay in any of these gang neighborhoods, and I said your neighbors are MS-13 terrorists or Mexican mafia or Sinaloa cartel or Tren de Aragua, I couldn't pay you to live there. But yet you, with your coverage, are trying to force innocent Americans to have these people as their neighbors, and that one day their daughter may be abducted from their home and raped and murdered. So
that's exactly what it is. The news media has a certain set of standards that none of them follow. They tell you how to live. They tell you where to live. They tell you what to drive. They tell you what kind of food to eat. They tell you what kind of things that you must go along with. But this is such BS. Remember how we always said that there's the official story and then there's actually what's happening? This is that times 1,000. These judges think they can veto the president whatever they want. That's not independence. That is straight up power grabbing. And just like Stephen Miller brought up here, the news media is not the news anymore. They are not. They're a machine ran by the Democrat Party to put out propaganda. When's the last time a CNN reporter wasn't sitting behind a damn desk arguing about what someone said? When's the last time you saw CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, fill in the blank, actually on the street talking to the American people? It doesn't happen very damn often because they don't know what you're going to say. More importantly, they can't control what you want to say. But these judges, nobody voted for these damn judges, but they are basically saying, nah, we don't like that. And we're blocking everything. It's exactly like that. We had loads of this in the military. It is, you're going to do it because I said so. Well, Miller's legal team isn't playing around either. They're demanding all of the records on how these 16 judicial agencies make their rules, and they should. They're sitting on these documents like we used to guard the weapons locker. Here's more from this article. He is dropping this on them. Remember, this MS-13 case I was telling you about with the Kilmar Abrego Garcia guy? Some judge just decided this gang member deserves to stay in America. What do you think about this? I mean, seriously, when we're busting our butts overseas, defending all these other countries, we're sending billions of dollars to Ukraine. I didn't think I was protecting a system where judges could just ignore immigration laws when they felt like it. You know what really gets me? I took that same oath to the Constitution as these judges did. But somewhere along the line, they decided Article 2 doesn't matter anymore.
The American press is trying to see how it hurts cartel members' feelings when Donald Trump has accurately portrayed them as foreign terrorist enemies of the United States. Hundreds of thousands of Americans, hundreds of thousands, have been killed by the fentanyl that these monsters have trafficked into our country, lacing our drugs with this lethal poison that many teenagers and many young people in this country don't even realize that they're ingesting, and they drop dead, and their parents don't even know what happened. These same cartels, by the way.
This is where I can't understand how a judge, a sitting Supreme Court judge, supposed to be one of the most brilliant intellectual minds in America, how this sitting judge, Roberts, can sit back and defend these people. Illegal aliens do not deserve due process. They do not deserve to be treated the same way you are. You didn't break into their country and demand, I don't know, all this other crap. You didn't do this. I would never do it. More importantly, no other country would ever allow it. And when you want to see dumb news media, just go to the Morning Joe. I'll let Joe Scarborough explain how stupid he is.
Rev, nobody ever said that Congress was a meritocracy. I understand that AOC may be more progressive than a lot of people. I also understand that she's one of the most articulate, exciting people in the Democratic field. She goes out with Bernie Sanders, and yeah, she just draws so many people. It's very good, very effective in hearings. Mm-hmm. We've seen a lot of people. Nancy Pelosi was a progressive. When Nancy became leader, she realized she needed to represent the entire caucus. AOC certainly could do that as well. After the election, she was going around.
Joe Scarborough calls AOC brilliant and articulate. Mika says she draws a big crowd. Yeah, so did the freaks, Barnum and Bailey circus. They drew big crowds because they had hairy legs. And I'm sure there's something about AOC that draws a big crowd, but I can't listen to her. And if her and Jasmine Crockett are the best the Democrat Party has to put forward, think about a debate between Stephen Miller and AOC, Stephen Miller and Jasmine Crockett, Stephen Miller and anyone. I would love to see it.
Did Joe Biden, when he said he would faithfully uphold and execute the laws of this land, not mean it when he decided to let millions upon millions of people into the country? Because he did not execute the laws.
I thought that you were going to squirm out of that question.
I'm not squirming.
Yes, you did. And that's why I prepared for it, because I want to read you something. At the core of Trump's candidacy is a call for greater executive authority with willful disregard for the constitutional limits placed on our chief executive. Trump especially promises to force individual companies to do things he wants them to do, or else he promises punishment to those who displease him, which appeals to the miserable man at the airport bar. Do you recognize that?
Yeah, I wrote it.
Exactly.
And here's the deal.
He hasn't changed, so what has changed about you?
And here's the difference between then and now. This country has been invaded. The president was elected.
So
to
you
end the
changed your
invasion.
opinion on the Constitution?
My opinion is the president needs to pull every lever he can to solve illegal immigration.
So you've answered that question by saying...
Wow. CNN fell for the trap. They absolutely fell right into it. You see on a daily basis who the liberal news media is working for, and it's damn sure not you. The president we elected, or judges who think they know better than voters. It's exactly what is happening right in front of your eyes. These judges sit behind a bench, and they're doing everything they can to stop a sitting president. The liberal news media is finished when Donald Trump leaves because they have no one else to talk about. He is their puppet master. Anyway, what do you think? Should the courts back off and let Trump do his job? Should Roberts have to answer for all these secret judicial rules that they're using to block Trump's agenda? Hit the subscribe. If you want more real talk like this, none of that carefully scripted mainstream garbage, just straight facts from someone who's actually served this country. I'm not a poet. I'm not a professional content creator. No. I get up and go to work.
I mean, we're talking roughly 20 million or so who broke the law, and there was no enforcement of the law from the Biden administration, which presented an even bigger issue because they were able to come here illegally without any issues at all. Bill Clinton deported 12.1 million during his presidency. 92 to 93% of those people he deported were sent back without a formal proceeding, aka due process. OK, so look to what President Trump said, 5 million trials. That's impossible. You can't do it. And the fact that these judges continue to get in the way and try to derail his deportation efforts, it's brutal because, you know, to Caroline's points earlier, the Manhattan Institute estimates an average net fiscal burden of $68,000 per illegal migrant, which actually goes up to $130,000 for those with lower education levels. That is a big drain on society. And one of the things that President Trump has mentioned is for these people who self-deport, they have an opportunity to come back the right way at some point in the future.
That's what I'm all about. I am ready to see more mass deportations. Trump administration is going after the Supreme Court judge that's putting a stop to it or trying to put a stop to it. These federal judges that are getting in the damn way, Trump is going after them. He has unleashed the chainsaw. Stephen Miller, America First Legal. I love seeing it. If you want to check out a video that I made earlier today, it's right here. And that's a video with Marjorie Taylor Greene absolutely ending Governor Kemp in Georgia and taking over the Republican Party. Stick around. Check out that video. This is the Vet Biker. I'll see you on the road.